What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back to some more TrackDayR. Now, because Oakland was cancelled, we have moved on to San Diego in terms of the real life schedule / calendar. Unfortunately, in TrackDayR, San Diego is not in the game, so I am going to be riding Oakland for you today. Now, off the back of my last video, you see I made some comments in regards to things like traction and the bike slowing down a lot on the face of the jumps. Apparently the devs have revisited this and made some tweaks, so I'm very interested to see, especially on the Supercross side of things, how the bike handles now. Now, I did want to just say again at the start of this one, before we go and spin a bunch of laps on this track, that it's not meant to be an exact one-to-one replica as per the Oakland track map. There are some tweaks here and there. I'm not sure if it's just due to if it's copyright involved at all with using the naming, or if it just wasn't possible, or even maybe the track creators didn't quite have the capabilities of recreating exactly what we saw in the track maps. I'm not too sure, but that you'll see there's a few tweaks to this here and there. Now, I have played this track on MX Simulator, of course. I'd done the Could I Qualify session, and I actually managed to make it that time. If you haven't watched that video, please do go and check it out. It should have been uploaded a couple of days ago. I'd really appreciate it. But obviously, as we know, TrackDayR, for me at least at the moment, it's harder for me to go around a track cleanly on this game than it is on Sim. If we're getting like hot laps involved, then it's a whole different story. Sim will always be one of the hardest ones to put absolute burners down, in my opinion. But so far, the bike feels a hell of a lot flowier than it did before. I will say though that a lot of the jumps on this track so far, they don't seem to be quite as peaky as the ones that I saw on Anaheim 1, so maybe there's not as much of a chance for the bike to really get those tougher impacts and get stopped by the terrain, but so far this is really nice. Now, in between the last video that I done on TrackDayR and me playing now, I did play the game again with some other updates in between. However, something had gone very wrong with how the bike reacts to steep inclines or turning whilst going up an incline as well. So, you know, if you're coming to scrub a jump, you want to start turning kind of halfway up the face of it to get the back end out. If you was to do that, the bike would almost come to a complete halt. And I sent a clip into the dev chat, and literally within, I think it was under an hour, he'd reverted back to the previous best working version and started working on it again. And I just think that's really good, really impressive from them guys. Apparently I've missed too many checkpoints. I didn't know this was a thing. I've never seen this screen before. What's this appearing at the top right? Disqualified Lins. That's actually quite cool. I can't lie to you. I think I'm just going to load... I'll load Time Attack rather than the race, just so things like that don't happen. And again, I did want to mention as well that this... what's Barocket Obama League? Fair enough. So apparently I need to get a 58.1 in terms of lap time. We'll see if we can do that. I have no idea. That should be one of the people that is a dev of the game, because only the devs have access to this at the moment. Oh, okie dokie. This lap's not going to count straight off the bat. I think that's just where I was trying to load the bike in. Hopefully that won't happen next time I go over the start-finish line. But yeah, these Supercross tracks that I'm playing, I saw a whole bunch of people asking me how I go about downloading them. Let's just do, what's quick restart do? That's a new button. 3, 2, 1, 0 to track. Let's put it back on the start gate. That's fine. Let's start her up. Let's go again. We'll go from here. It's no biggie. Yeah, I saw a lot of people asking how they go about downloading these Supercross tracks. Unfortunately, they aren't in a public release just yet. And trust me when I say that the devs are working very hard to get a new public release out for you guys. There's a hell of a lot of fine-tuning going on at the moment, just in terms of the traction as well as how the bike handles in the corners, how it handles jumps. I did mention, I think the gyro was a bit too effective. I found that if I was in the air, even without applying any gas, I could lean back on the bike and the front wheel would raise up. As you guys know, if you ride bikes, that's just not possible. Like if you're nosediving, no matter how much you lean back, most of the time if you lean back and get on the throttle, the front still won't come up and you're in for a very painful landing. But yeah, like I was just able to lean back and get the front wheel up. So there's some tweaking here and there, and I think that one situation in regards to the gyro also affects how we go through whoops, because right now it's very easy just to kind of sit on the back wheel and pick the front wheel up and almost like manual through them all and have it absorb it all. Now I think some of that is to do with the gyroscopic effect with the throttle and the leaning back combined, so it's nice to know that it's always being worked on and all of the feedback and constructive criticism is always being taken into account. And that's one of the things that has kept me kind of involved in this game up till this point as well. Usually, if I didn't get to see that side of the things, I would just say, "Oh, the game doesn't get enough updates. It's like a little bit behind. I'll wait another year or so to get it." But because of how often it does get updated, I'm very, very confident in it, and these could be some big words that they might come back to bite me. Who knows? But I think that at the current rate of development between, let's say, MX Bikes and TrackDayR together, I'm realising that I've just crashed about 4 times in the space of 30 seconds. I do apologise. That is on me. I do be sucking right now. I've just gone from playing. I played Sim today, then MX Bikes, then Monster Energy Supercross 5, and now we're on this. So muscle memory has left the building today. Oh, for God's sake. As I was saying, sorry, I generally think that if development carries on at the same speed that it's going between this game and MX Bikes, in a year's time, I genuinely feel like TrackDayR could overtake MX Bikes in terms of updates. Bikes has a certain number of just updates and changes that are drastically needed. One in the physics department in terms of slow speed and uphill stuff, and then another change is the multiplayer / netcode side of things. The multiplayer on this game is actually really, really good. It works really well. I mean, when I played with Rum, we could get into each other, bump each other with no issues at all. There was never any issue joining each other's games or anything like that. Now, obviously, you've got them few things and like teething issues where maybe you might hear someone's bike too loudly across the map, or you can't see someone's bike loading properly here and there. I feel like they're all fairly acceptable things when multiplayer's just coming into this game and being worked on, and I always get to see the behind the scenes when working on full functioning like race types, so the whole start sequence and getting put on a podium afterwards as well. Finally hit that rhythm section cleanly, thank God, although I'm still a hell of a long way behind the fast laps. What was that, 1 minute 10? Oh my God, okay, so I need to gain 12 seconds. Let me put my head down real quick. Let me see if we can beat that. Inside there is so much faster. No idea why we're going outside. Alright, let's get on the throttle. Around the outside here, we're just going to go double, triple into the corner. Seat bouncing feels really nice on this game. It feels quite effective. Sometimes it works a lot better than other times, but overall it seems fairly consistent. And 100%, I'm noticing how much smoother the bike kind of glides across everything right now. I feel like if I was on the previous build still, 100% some of these rhythm sections would have been impossible for me to get up and over, but this is actually really, really nice. I'm on a good lap here. Let me just try and finish it off. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the finish by 58 seconds though. Even though I'm ahead of that Ghost, that lap time seems actually insane. I wonder if it cheated and just cut to the finish line halfway through here. Not entirely sure. I know as well that's something that's really being worked on right now is the checkpoints, like the timing gates on the tracks. At the moment, if you want to be a little bit naughty, you can kind of miss out most of the track and cut straight to the finish. But again, that's all them things that come with more development as the tracks get updated. I know there's certain tracks that are being worked on more than others, like Redbud, for example. I think they've put a lot of time and effort into all of the timing gates around there to at least get one track that can be out competitively for everyone. And one thing that I'm just really waiting for is that public release where all of the multiplayer works properly, like everything's like super smooth and the game feels nice, because as soon as that one happens and it's out for the general public rather than just the development group, I think that's the point that the community is going to really, really grow. I'm pretty sure their Discord's at about 2,000 members or so right now. It might be over 2,000, I could very well be mistaken. But as soon as the community grows and the modding community comes into things, and you get more and more custom tracks and bikes and so on and so forth, I think that's when the game's really going to hit its like stride really, and really take off and grow and get bigger and better all the time. And I think it deserves it. You know, I go back and watch the very first video I made on the game every now and then and kind of compare it to where I'm at now, because I feel like a lot of time it's quite easy to get lost from where you are now to comparing it to where you've been, and it's just massive. You know, I can't say enough good things about the guys out there. I mean, they work on the game every single day. Sometimes we get like 2 new development builds in a day. They reached out to me and offered to give away some free codes to you guys over the Christmas period, and they're just a really nice bunch of guys, and I think they deserve all the success that they get, and I wish them all the best for the future too, and I can't wait to see this game keep growing and growing. In terms of feedback in this build, this feels so much nicer than last week playing on Anaheim. I generally couldn't put my finger on it and tell you exactly what it is, but the bike just seems to... I think it keeps its momentum better. That's probably the best way of wording it. Both in the corners, over the jumps, through the whoops. There doesn't seem to be anything really that stops the bike like there was last time. And in my opinion, in Supercross, that's one of the biggest things you need. You need momentum. You need to be able to rail around the bowl corners properly. You need to be able to stay low over jumps if you want to, skim across the top of the whoops quite nicely. And this is a massive step in the right direction. And it's something that I'd love to see implemented more in like the Monster Energy Supercross games, for example. I played that earlier. Recording for a video as well, because I'm putting together almost like a wish list and what I want to see improved on it. I feel like keeping momentum for a Supercross game like that is so important, and I feel like that's where the game really lacks in I suppose in all of the Monster Energy Supercross games. I feel like if you get into a rhythm section, you almost just come to a stop if you like take something, you can't get going again, whereas in real life, if you see one of the 450 riders have to roll a jump, maybe they get a slide out in the corner or they just get a bad exit to the corner, they can sit down, bang open the throttle and then like triple their way out the rest of the section, which you can't really do in any of the Monster Energy Supercross games. It's a very difficult game to go fast on. It's almost like the bike's always skimming across the top of the surface, you're never in the dirt, and yeah, just the momentum's a massive thing for me. But I think that'll probably do it for me. A fairly short showcase this, but I kind of don't want to spoil too much for you guys and show off everything there is to see in TrackDayR. There's so much more that I've never even shown you, both in regards to the road bike side of things and tracks that you've never seen from me. Obviously, being a motocross channel, I try and keep things motocross related for the most part, but if you're someone that likes branching out and doing GP stuff now and then, this game has it for you as well, and 100% go and check it out, or even go on YouTube and see some other people's stuff. There's a bunch of road bike guys that play this game too that upload on YouTube, so do a little search, see what you can find, and maybe you'll find something in this game that is for you. That's going to do it for me. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, if you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I would greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to, until I catch you in the next video. Peace.